People earning $130,000 a year save less money than people earning $60,000. Not because of taxes, because of a psychological trap that fires the moment your paycheck increases. People who earn $130,000 a year save less money than people who earn $60,000. That is not a typo. And it is not because of taxes. It is because of a psychological mechanism that activates the moment your paycheck increases. A mechanism the financial industry almost never talks about, because fixing it requires you to spend less, not more. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly what is happening inside your brain when you get a raise, why it is quietly destroying your net worth, and the three-step system to break the cycle starting today. Here is the thing. We are living through a moment where this problem has never been worse. According to the Federal Reserve's most recent survey of consumer finances, Americans earning between $100,000 and $150,000 per year carry a median net worth of just $240,000. That is less than 3 years of income saved across an entire lifetime of working in that bracket. Meanwhile, a 2023 PIMS survey found that 36% of people earning over $100,000 a year describe themselves as living paycheck to paycheck. More than 1 in 3. And that number is climbing. The economic conditions right now have created the perfect storm for this. Remote work normalized luxury home setups and daily food delivery. Social media made every aspirational lifestyle visible to you at every waking hour. And an entire marketing industry, from car brands to real estate agents to credit card companies, specifically targets people in your income range with one message. You have earned this. You deserve this. Treat yourself. You are earning more than your parents ever dreamed you would, and somehow it still never feels like enough. Let me show you exactly why. The first mechanism is called hedonic adaptation. Your brain does this automatically without your permission, and it is relentless. Think of it like a thermostat. The first time you turn on a fireplace on a cold winter night, it feels incredible, warm, cozy, almost luxurious. You notice it, you appreciate it. But 20 minutes later, you do not even register it anymore. Your brain recalibrated. That warmth became the new normal. The baseline shifted. That is exactly what happens to your income every single time it goes up. The first month you make $130,000 a year, you feel genuinely rich. You go to nicer restaurants without checking the prices. You upgrade your car, you stop flinching at the grocery bill. And that feels earned because you worked hard to get here. But by month 3, none of those things feel special anymore. They just feel like Tuesday. The brain adapted. The fireplace is running and you stopped noticing. So what do? You upgrade again, not out of greed, out of neurology. Here is a documented pattern that plays out across thousands of high earners. A software engineer goes from $85,000 to $130,000 in 2 years. First thing she does is move into a nicer 2-bedroom apartment in a better neighborhood, $800 more per month. She leases a BMW instead of keeping her Honda Civic, another $420 more per month. She starts eating out 5 nights a week instead of 3, and her grocery spending upgrades to match her new sense of self, another $650 per month. That is $1,870 per month in new fixed and semi-fixed costs, every single month, locked in. Her raise, net approximately $2,100 per month after taxes. She absorbed 89% of her raise into lifestyle within 60 days, and she genuinely, sincerely does not feel richer. The hedonic treadmill ran, and she does not even know she was on it. Now here is where it gets darker, because hedonic adaptation is only the first problem. The second mechanism is social comparison, and at higher incomes, this one kicks into overdrive in a way that is almost cruel. Think carefully about who surrounds you when you earn $130,000 a year. Your colleagues likely earn similar amounts. Your professional network includes people at $200,000, $300,000, $500,000. Your LinkedIn feed is full of people announcing promotions and business milestones. Your reference group, the people your brain automatically measures you against, shifted the moment your income did. When you were earning $60,000, you compared yourself to people earning $60,000. You felt reasonably comfortable, maybe even successful. Now you are at $130,000 and you are watching people around you vacation in Italy twice a year, casually discuss investment properties, and talk about their financial advisors like it is a normal Tuesday conversation. And you feel behind, not ahead. Behind. Research published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences found that beyond $100,000 in annual income, relative income, how you compare to your immediate peer group, becomes more predictive of life satisfaction than absolute income. What that means is devastating. At your income level, feeling poorer than the people around you causes more emotional pain than the additional money provides relief. And here is the exact thing we said at the very top of this video. The person earning $60,000 who never entered this new peer group. They are comparing themselves to people earning $55,000 and $65,000. They feel competent. They feel fine. They are quietly saving 15, 18, sometimes 20% of their income. They are building wealth with less fanfare and less stress. You are earning $130,000, measuring yourself against a moving target that always sits just above you, spending to close a gap that recedes as fast as you approach it, and saving almost nothing in the process. So how do you break the cycle? 3 steps. You can start all 3 today. Step 1. Save the raise before your brain can adapt to it. Timing is everything here. When a raise hits, you have approximately a 30-day window before hedonic adaptation locks in your new spending baseline. Once the new lifestyle feels normal, walking it back feels like loss, and humans hate loss far more than they love equivalent gains. You have to move faster than your own neurology. The rule is mechanical. Automate at least 50% of your net raise increase directly to your investment or savings account before it ever touches your checking account. Set this up on day 1 of your new salary, not day 30. You cannot spend what you never see, and because your brain calibrates to whatever lands in your daily access account, you will fully adapt to spending $1,100 more per month instead of $2,200. The other $1,100 builds in the background, invisibly, and compounds. This is not a willpower strategy. It is an architecture strategy. Architecture beats willpower every time. Step 2. Curate your comparison environment on purpose. Social comparison is not a personality flaw. It is a neurological reflex your brain runs constantly without asking. You cannot think your way out of it, but you can control the inputs it runs on. First, mute or remove social media accounts that showcase aspirational spending. Not because you are weak, because your brain cannot reliably distinguish between what your actual real-life peers do and what a curated influencer feed presents as normal. It treats both as social data. You are fighting an ancient reflex with willpower, and the reflex wins long-term. Second, deliberately add people to your information environment who display wealth through accumulation rather than spending. Communities built around financial independence, early retirement, or high net worth with modest, visible lifestyles. When your comparison baseline shifts toward builders, your spending impulses shift with it. Same neurological mechanism, different input signal. Step 3. Anchor your identity to a net worth milestone, not a lifestyle marker. Here is the core problem with lifestyle inflation. It ties identity to consumption. The car signals who you are. The apartment signals who you are. The watch signals who you are. And because those signals require ongoing maintenance and upgrades to stay current, you are locked into an identity that costs you more money every year just to maintain. Flip the anchor. Choose a specific, meaningful net worth target. $250,000 liquid, $500,000, $1 million, and begin treating reaching that number as your primary status marker. Write it down. Tell people who matter to you. Build a narrative around being someone who is building something. When your ego attaches to a number that grows through discipline, every unnecessary purchase has to compete with your identity rather than reinforce it. That is a completely different psychological equation, and it is one you can actually win. Now here is the insight almost nobody in mainstream personal finance will say clearly. We are taught from childhood to maximize income. Get the degree, get the promotion, get the raise. The entire script of professional success is oriented around earning more, but wealth is not what you earn. Wealth is what you keep. Run the actual math. A person earning $60,000 who saves and invests 20% of their income, $12,000 per year, over 20 years at a historical 8% average market return, ends up with approximately $593,000. A person earning $130,000 who saves just 5% of their income, $6,500 per year, over those same 20 years at the same return, they end up with $323,000. The person making half the salary ends up with nearly twice the wealth. That is not a hypothetical thought experiment. That math is playing out in millions of real households right now across every city in this country. And nobody talks about it because it is not profitable to talk about it. Every car lease, every apartment upgrade, every status purchase that absorbs a raise before it can compound, there is an industry on the other side of that transaction that wins every time you do. The high earner is not failing because they lack discipline or intelligence. They are failing because no one explained that the psychological forces activated by higher income are systematically stronger than individual willpower, and that those forces were never neutral. They were engineered, refined, and optimized over decades by people who profit from the gap between what you earn and what you keep. You were sold a story that income equals security. It does not. Systems equal security. A behavioral system that captures wealth before lifestyle inflation consumes it is the only thing that works at scale. Income is raw material. The system is the factory. Most people at $130,000 have exceptional raw material and no factory at all. If this changed how you think about your salary, subscribe. Every week I break down the behavioral and psychological mechanics of money that mainstream personal finance skips entirely. And next week, I am going to show you something equally counterintuitive. Why maxing your 401k might actually be the worst financial decision you make in your 30s and exactly what to do instead. You do not want to miss that one.